Hi friends, our next module is regarding emergency provisions. Okay, so what is actually mean by emergency? See, emergency is nothing but a kind of serious or dangerous situation. Okay, at that time we need to take very immediate action. So during that emergency time, the president can overrule, that is President of India can overrule many of the provisions of our constitution. So that time what will happen? The center will become more powerful during emergency time. Okay, why? Because we need to take immediate action to safeguard the sovereignty, security of our country, and also to safeguard the democratic institution, and also safeguard our constitution. We have to take some immediate action sometimes. Fine. At that time, the central government become more powerful. So today in this session, we are going to learn about those emergency provisions. Okay. First of all, Part 18. Yeah, Part 18 of the Constitution deals with emergency provisions, and the articles covered under emergency provisions are Article 352 to 360. So these are all the emergency provisions. It is Article 352 to 360. As I said, to safeguard the sovereignty and security of our country, sometimes we go for emergency provisions. At that time, the federal character of our country becomes unitary. See, India is a federal country, right? That means there is clear demarcation of power between center and states, and that demarcation is mentioned clearly in the constitution itself. Okay, and in the times of emergency, the federal form of government become unitary. That means the central government become more powerful at that time, even without a constitutional amendment. Okay, usually the powers can be altered by using a constitutional amendment act only. But during emergency time, without a formal amendment to the constitution, the our central government become more powerful. At that time, our federal character is transferred to a unitary character. But see, in USA is also a federal country. Okay, but at any cost, USA cannot become a unitary country because they follow a rigid federalism. Since USA follow a rigid federalism, at any cost they cannot become a unitary. But in India, since we have emergency provisions, our country becomes unitary at that time even without amendment. So these differences please note down. Okay, and our constitution provides for three types of emergency. Okay, Article 352 deals with national emergency. Okay, Article 356 deals with the president's rule. It is also called state emergency. And Article 360 deals with financial emergency. Okay, so national emergency Article 352 means when there is our sovereignty threatened due to war or external aggression or any kind of armed rebellion. Okay, so in these grounds, when our sovereignty, okay, or security is threatened by war or external aggression or armed rebellion, then the President of India can declare national emergency under Article 352. See, these articles are important, okay. So what are the articles we are dealing under the classes? Please note it down. That is important from exam perspective. So Article 352 deals with national emergency. Article 356 deals with president's rule. That means when the state cannot act according to the provisions of the constitution, then the president can declare a constitutional emergency. See, state emergency is also called constitutional emergency. It is also called president's rule. That means when there is a constitutional failure, that is the state cannot act according to the provisions of the constitution, then the president of India can declare a state emergency. It's also called president's rule. It is also called constitutional emergency. State emergency or president's rule or constitutional emergency. That is Article 356 of the Constitution. Okay, next is Article 360. 360 is regarding financial emergency. That is whenever financial stability is threatened, when India's financial stability is threatened, at that time the President of India can declare a financial emergency under Article 360 of the Constitution. So please note down these three articles: 352 for national emergency, 356 for state emergency, and 360 for financial emergency. Okay, now let's go into detail about national emergency under Article 352. Okay, the grounds upon which the national emergency can be declared is war external aggression, or armed rebellion. There are three grounds. See, we usually study many grounds. Okay, so under these three grounds only, national emergency can be proclaimed by the President of India. The grounds are war, external aggression, as well as armed rebellion. Okay, so when a national emergency is declared on the grounds of war or external aggression, it is called external emergency. I repeat once again, when a national emergency is declared on the grounds of war or external aggression, then that emergency is called external emergency. When a national emergency is declared on the ground of armed rebellion, then it is called internal emergency. So within national emergency itself, there are two types. Normally three grounds are there: war, external aggression, and armed rebellion. So on the grounds of war and external aggression, emergency is called external emergency. Okay, because it comes from outside the country. Fine. So external emergency. Armed rebellion within the country, so it is known as internal emergency. Okay, and also it is not necessary that when a national emergency is declared, it is covers the entire country. No, the president can limit national emergency to a certain part of the country also. I repeat once again, the President of India can limit the operation of national emergency to a certain part of the country, not an issue. And this provision was added by 42nd Amendment to the Constitution of India. Please note down this amendment. That is 42nd Amendment Act of India empowers the President to limit the operation of national emergency to a certain part. It is not always necessary that entire country should be covered at a time. It can be limited to a certain part, and that provision is added by 42nd Amendment Act. Please note down this Amendment Act. Fine. And also, see, we learned that there are three grounds: war, external aggression, and armed rebellion. Earlier it was war, external aggression, and internal disturbance. Internal disturbance. Okay, so there was a criticism regarding this grounds, that is internal disturbance. So in 44th Amendment Act, the ground of internal disturbance was removed and replaced it with armed rebellion. Earlier, the grounds for declaring national emergency was war, external aggression, and internal disturbances earlier. And after 44th Amendment Act, the term internal disturbance was removed, and new term is armed rebellion. So now the President of India cannot declare a national emergency on the ground internal disturbance. But now the President of India can declare national emergency on the ground of war, external aggression, and armed rebellion. And this provision of armed rebellion was added through 44th Amendment Act. Please note down this Amendment Act, important from prelims perspective. Okay. And when a national emergency has to be declared by the President or proclaimed by the President, written recommendation of cabinet is necessary. Why means, in 1975, when Indira Gandhi declared national emergency, Indira Gandhi does not consult the cabinet. Okay, Indira Gandhi directly asked the President to declare a national emergency, even without the recommendation of, or even without the consultation of cabinet. So that arose wide criticism. So in 44th Amendment Act, again, it made a safeguards to declaring a national emergency. That means the President can declare a national emergency only after the written recommendation of cabinet. Written recommendation is necessary. Before that, that is not mandatory. Prime Minister alone can ask the President to proclaim a national emergency. But after this 44th Amendment Act, it made mandatory the written recommendation of cabinet is necessary. Then only person can go for declaring a national emergency. See, these points are very much important from exam perspective, okay, mainly from prelims perspective. So please note down all these things. Fine. And again, 38th Amendment Act said that the proclamation of national emergency is immune from judicial review. That means the declaration of national emergency cannot be called into question by any court. That provision was added to 38th Amendment Act. Okay, but again, 44th Amendment Act dated to this provision, And now the declaration of national emergency by President is subjected to judicial review. Now it can be called into question by any court, either called into question by the Court of India. Fine. 30th Amendment Act is important. Why? It made declaration of national emergency immune from judicial review. But 44th Amendment Act deleted this provision, and now currently declaration of national emergency is subjected to or under the jurisdiction of Supreme Court only. No issue. Not on this Amendment Act also. See, in this chapter we will be learning some various Amendment Acts. That is very much important. Okay, fine. One thing please note down. 44th Amendment Act bring many safeguards. That no, you please note down. Then you can easily understand. Okay, 44th Amendment Act bring many safeguards when declaring emergencies.